Before we talk about how we met Mikael Akerfeldt of Opeth, we need to rewind to when I discovered Opeth's music. Alright, so let's just quickly go back to 2019 when I started my work as a software engineer, and I was listening to a lot of Opeth then. I was, scratching the surface, listening to a lot of albums like Ghost Reveries and Damnation. And obviously the fan favorites is what I was into. Like when I was coding, I was listening to a lot of Opeth. And exactly at that time, Opeth announced that they were coming to Pune to play at the NH7 Weekender. And that's when recently me and my friend Aditya started, going to these live gigs slowly. And then he was like, we should definitely go for this. He was a huge Opeth fan from a long time. I was like, okay, yes, let's do this. And we booked our tickets. We flew down. It was an amazing performance. NH7 Weekender used to be a great festival where, there used to be a lot of rock and metal bands performing. For Opeth, it was completely packed. When it came to one of the Damnation tracks they played, I was listening to a lot of Window Pane, which was my favorite. And I was like, okay, I hope that they're going to play that song. But they ended up playing a song which I had not heard from the Damnation record. The whole crowd was singing along to it. And I was like, oh my God, this song is amazing. Why have I not heard of this? And that song was Hope Leaves.
There's a road that's always bleeding. There's a road I'm always walking. And I know you'll never return to this place.
And it became an integral part of my life after that, because every time, my commute back from work to home used to be just Hope Leaves, and the Bangalore weather was beautiful for, perfect for that kind of a vibe. Let's fast forward to COVID. We had a lockdown and everything was just completely shut down. We had no clue what we were doing, but I was getting into more music production, making music, and I released a couple of songs. But before that, I did a lot of research on how to market my music, and that's what led into the birth of Sinusoidal Music. Aditya and I kind of started a playlist called Healing with Nature, where I put my music in it and started promoting it using meta ads and stuff. And that gave rise to Sinusoidal Music, and it started off obviously as a music promotion company through playlists essentially, and then we started off a blog. We built a whole team around it. Around the time of 2023, or 2022, me and Aditya kind of started exploring international festivals. So the first festival we went to was Arctangent, which was in Bristol, UK, where we saw Opeth there again, along with a lot of great bands like Tesseract, Rivers of Nihil. And it was a beautiful experience for us. We are also gone to meet our sinusoidal clients there. So it was kind of a business trip, and Arctangent was kind of eye-opening of how well organized these festivals are, how you can watch these bands. And then we thought of attending a festival each year. The next year, I think we went to, if I'm not wrong, Brutal Assault in Czech Republic. There again, we caught a lot of amazing bands. And then again, the next year, we went to Rockstad, which is in Romania. And again, we caught Opeth there. It was beautiful. We were, at the front listening to Opeth and, of course, cheering for Mikael. And until then, we didn't have an idea of a press pass of sorts. We were still growing the company. We were, in 2024, we started getting into more events and things like that. We started doing some more ground coverage, sending out a team to different gigs which is happening, doing some more interviews. Of course, the big day which came was for Bangalore Open Air, when me and Aditya chased down Salman. I wouldn't say chased down, but we were very adamant that we want to do something for Bangalore Open Air. So we started off with covering them for the Wacken Metal Battle. And then he did like our work, and then he gave us, a chance to cover Bangalore Open Air as well. That was, again, a huge thing for us at that point in time, because we just got into events and coverages and things like that. And huge shout out to Salman for trusting us and giving us that opportunity. Alright, so fast forward to 2025, a lot of things going on, and then Aditya was like, okay, we should probably visit Graspop this time, because the lineup is amazing. It's probably one of the best lineups I had seen in all these years. And it was like a 4-day event. It was a huge event. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So this is in Belgium. So we make a plan around that. It was very chaotic. We got our tickets for the Graspop, but then later Aditya found out that there's something called a press pass you can apply to in Graspop. We didn't know this for the last few festivals we had gone to, of course, and we had no portfolio of sorts, so we weren't doing anything related to events. We were just doing marketing and advertising. we apply for the press pass. We sit one full day, putting all of our portfolio, what we've done for Sinusoidal. And then luckily after a week, we get back a response saying, yeah, you guys got the press pass. It's a paid press accreditation because we are relatively a new blog. And we were like, okay, that's good. And we are excited to get down there. We don't know what to do. We have the press pass, yes, but what do we do there? Okay, we were like, let's start emailing the labels and different bands, if the management, if we can get in contact with the bands and interview them of sorts. We have no clue what's there, how the press area is, and things like that. So we land in Belgium. We get a message. We had emailed Opeth's label, and then we got a message saying Mikael is down for an interview. And me and Aditya were in shock. We were like, really? This is happening? Now me and Aditya have never done interviews before of sorts. We always had a great team in Sinusoidal we relied on for experienced writers and stuff like that for these interviews. So we get on a call. We tell the team, guys, we have an interview with Mikael Akerfeldt. The team was overwhelmed. I was like, what? And then we were like, we need your help. Let's make a shared doc and start adding in questions, what we can ask Mikael about India, about his projects, about his side projects and everything like that. Down to the day of the interview, we watch Knock Clues, and then immediately we head down over to the interview room.
This is where the artists come out from. These are just rooms where you can book. This is the interview room. This is the interview room.
And then we're waiting outside the interview room. We're not sure if this is going to really happen because it's still tough to believe that Mikael is going to come down and, talk to us. We're still looking there, and then we saw that tall figure who was Mikael Akerfeldt come along with Mendes. And, we kind of greeted each other, and it was still, kind of tough to believe that he's walking down and we are getting to interview one of the biggest prog musicians in the world, prog rock, prog metal, whatever. Opeth is probably one of my favorite bands by that time, and we were hugely inspired by them. So it was a huge moment for us. And then he came in and he was so friendly, all the nervousness just vanished as he started talking to us. It felt like we were talking to a friend. We go into the interview room. Aditya starts asking the questions. I start getting in with the camera and then the mic, which stopped working, of course, at the last minute. And then we had to fix it quickly. And then we just started rolling, and everything was so smooth from then. It was so natural, and there was no nervousness or anything like that. And of course, you saw the video. It came out really well. A lot of big blogs like Metal Injection, Blabbermouth, and Metal Sucks have covered this interview. And the interview on the YouTube was done very well. And this was a huge moment for us, for Sinusoidal Music. Shout out to the team who helped us with all this interview and the questions. That has led us to, a lot of these interviews with Northley and Catatonia. We're excited at what phase Sinusoidal is at now, and not sure what the future holds for us, but this is exciting times, and this is how technically we met Mikael Akerfeldt of Opeth, and it's still surreal, but it's happened this year. Shout out to you guys for supporting us and watching all the videos and adding those wonderful comments about the interviews and everything else. Until next time. Hey Mikael, whatever, you know the spelling. How is Belgium treating you?
So far,
Look at him, don't look at the camera.
touring for the new album, which I think people are receiving well.